What's up, guys? This is my second impressions video for Resident Evil 6. Now, the first video I did was based on Leon's campaign, and this video is going to be my impressions on Chris's campaign. Now, I actually beat Chris's campaign about 3 days ago, but I was just late with getting this video out. But I will say that compared to Leon's campaign, I like Leon's campaign a little bit better than Chris's, but Chris's campaign was pretty good too. It definitely was more action-packed. I mean, Leon's campaign had a lot of action too, but when you play Chris's campaign, it does have that sort of a Gears of War kind of feel to it. But the things I liked about Chris's campaign was it had a lot of action. The story was pretty good. I liked the ending. It was a dramatic ending, and I liked the final battle too, because I don't want to spoil. Well, I guess I could put spoilers in this video, but just to let you know, if you don't want to be spoiled about a story, then you might not want to watch this video. But if you don't mind being spoiled, then keep watching. But the final battle with when Chris and Pierce had to team up to fight the sea creature, I thought that was a very epic battle. And the way it happened at the end, how basically Pierce had to sacrifice his humanity just to help out Chris, because if Pierce wouldn't have did what he did, Chris would have died. So now, there was a couple of levels I didn't like in this game because it really didn't need to be there, and those were the vehicle levels. There was one level where Chris was chasing Ada. They were both driving cars, and it was basically like a high-speed chase. And the way that level was done, you could tell it was rushed. And honestly, I think that it should have just been a cutscene instead of a playable level, because the level, it just felt rushed. The level wasn't that fun. And the other level was the level where you had to fly an airplane, and you were supposed to stop this missile from launching. And this level also felt rushed. And just like the other level, I think it should have just been a cutscene. I think that would have been just as effective instead of having a level that really wasn't that fun to play. And you could tell because, you know, the developers of Resident Evil, they specialize in third-person action. You know, they don't specialize in vehicle-based games, so that's why the gameplay ended up just being below average, because that's not what Capcom is known for. They're not known for doing vehicle games. They're known for doing their third-person action games and survival horror. But that was my only complaints that I had about Chris's campaign with those two levels. I think they should have just been cutscenes instead. So I would give Chris's campaign a 7.5 out of 10. I think those two levels kind of bring the score down a little bit, because those two levels weren't necessary. But the rest of the campaign was pretty good, and I liked the final battle. I liked the level where you had to chase after that invisible snake. I thought that was well done. And story-wise, when you think about it, Chris owes Pierce big time. I mean, because to tell you the truth, I would actually consider Pierce to be the bigger hero compared to Chris, because Chris was messing up throughout the whole campaign. I mean, first of all, in the early part of the game, you know, Chris, you know, he lost his memory, and basically he was just getting drunk all the time. Pierce was the one that found him and, you know, got him back into the BSAA. Then, after Chris gets his memory back, Then all he's thinking about is getting vengeance against Ada Wong, which was actually not the real Ada, but the clone of Ada. And Pierce was the one that was talking sense to him, telling him that he needs to focus on the mission instead of, you know, trying to get vengeance against Ada Wong. And then the ending where Pierce had to, like I said, he sacrificed his humanity. He injected himself with the C virus to help out Chris, because Chris was about to get killed by that sea monster. And you know, Pierce, he had lost his arm during the battle, so he injected himself with the C virus, and he grew back a mutated arm. You know, it's like half his body was mutated and half his body was still human, and he was shooting lightning from his arm, which I thought was pretty cool. So Pierce, after they defeated the sea creature, then Pierce decided to stay behind instead of escaping with Chris from that underwater research facility. And as Chris was on his way up to the surface, that monster attacked Chris again, and Pierce ended up shooting the monster down with the lightning and killed the monster. So Pierce ended up saving Chris's life again. So Chris owes Pierce big time. I mean, Pierce saved his life 3 times during this campaign. So, you know, I kind of felt sorry for Chris, because throughout the whole campaign he was always losing his men. They were all getting killed during the missions, and then Pierce basically sacrificed himself so that Chris could escape. So I really felt sorry for Chris. His ending was kind of bittersweet. I mean, he survived, but none of his teammates did, and you know. But at least at the end of the story, Chris was focused on what he was supposed to do, and he's going to continue being the leader of the BSAA. So overall, it was a pretty good campaign. It could have been a little bit better, and my next video will be on Jake's campaign. So that's all I got so far, and I'll see you guys later.